Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about what to do when people don't get you. I mean, it's painful when people don't really understand and get us. And I've come up with 12 tips, 12 things to do, 12 facts, 12 truths to remember when people don't get you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Lynn Schrader, and I empower men and women to step outside of their comfort zone and begin living a life that they could have never imagined. I love to ignite a fire and passion in people who are ready for a change and ready for more, and it starts with us. So where is this topic coming from, this people don't get me? 2 times this week, I talked to people who were really upset about someone in their world not getting them, not supporting them, and how they really were hurt by that. And I work with women and men this is not an uncommon thing in my business, in my coaching. I coach women, especially women, on this a lot, but then also in my business. It's not unusual for those people that we love to not support us. So 12 things to remember when people don't support you. Some of these are such no-brainers, but I do believe that it's important for us to be reminded, because when we're in the thick of things and our mind, remember, it's what's between our ears that can be really an enemy to us, because we forget the truth. But it's those friends that can come into our life and speak this truth into us. So it's my pleasure to tell you some very simple truths to remember in case you've forgotten. So number one is to just remember that not everyone is going to like you, to understand you, or support you, and it has nothing to do with your likability. I mean, it's human nature to want to be liked. I don't know anybody who really doesn't want to be liked. I don't think there is anybody out there. So that's human nature to desire that. But the rock solid truth is not everyone will like, understand, or support you. Doesn't have anything to do with your likability, though. Number two is your calling in this earth, on this earth, in this world, is not to please everyone or to be understood. I mean, there are 6 billion people in this world. Our calling is not to be understood or to please everyone. Can you imagine if we set out to do that, how exhausting that would be? So when you're doing that with 1 or 2 or 3 people, remember, they're included in that big population, that your calling is not to please them. It's not. So step aside and just remember that's not what you are on this earth to do, to please them, to make them support you, to explain yourself. Number three is to live your life for yourself and not for others. To live your life for yourself and not for others. Now, notice that I didn't say don't help people, don't feed your family, don't be there for your family and friends and your kids. Don't provide for them. No, I said don't live your life. Live is an action word. That means you're living your life for yourself and not for anybody else, not for your husband, not for your significant other, not for your children, not for your siblings, not for your best friends. You're going to live it for yourself, not provide, not be there for someone, but live, an action word. Number four, as hard as it is to accept this, sometimes people just aren't going to get you. So you have to go to people who will. Each person is different. That's why we have different personalities, different skill sets. That's why there are painters and artists and musicians and teachers and construction workers and lawyers and realtors and bankers. We're all different. That's what makes the world go around. So if we surrender to this and we go in the direction of people who are going to get us, it will make your life easier, and it actually will give you more peace. The world is made up of many different personalities. So as soon as you let go of the need to make sure somebody gets you, the easier it will be. Now, number 5 is very close to this one, and it's just that we should all be unapologetically who we are and shine. And that will attract people. If we are unapologetically, can you imagine if we apologize? And I know people like this, and I think maybe I was this way at one point, but apologize for everything that they did or they do or they say, or, oh, I shouldn't have laughed. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed. Or, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. Can you imagine if we constantly lived in a state of apologizing for who we are, what we're doing? And the truth of the matter is we do that. Whether we do it out loud or we do it in our head, we apologize quite often for just being who we are. So number 5 is just be unapologetically you, and that's going to attract people. Number 6, walking away from people who don't get you creates a space for people who do get you to come in, right? There's only so much space in our world, in our environment, to let people in. Right? You can be friendly to everyone, right? But those people close to you, there's only so much space. So if you walk away from the unsupportive people, family, friends, it creates sort of a vacuum for other people to fill in that space. It's hard, but it's true. These are simple truths that just need to be reminded. Number 7, you do not need to convince anyone of your worth. Anyone, no one, nada, zip. You are worthy. There's a reason why you were born. There's a reason why you're here on this earth. You do not have to convince anybody about what that is, because you are worthy. It can stand alone all by itself, your worthiness. It doesn't need anybody to validate your worthiness. You just are. Simple truth. Number 8, when people don't get you, what can you do? Number 8, just because people don't get you doesn't mean that they don't respect you. Remember that. It's a simple truth. When people don't get you, doesn't mean they don't respect you. And here's a great example. Think of people in your world who you don't really get them, but do you still respect them? Most probably yes. You might not get their personality, but you respect them. I know people, lots of people. Number 9, don't apologize for who you are to anyone ever. Let me explain this. It's not being unapologetically you. It's not apologizing for who you are. You can apologize for something you've done, something you've said, but never apologize for your humanness, the mistakes that you've made, the personality that you are. You just are. You're a human being. It's done. Just be. So no apologize. No apologizing. It's kind of the same as the other point, but I hope you get it. Number 10, being quirky, being odd, being unique, being a dreamer, being someone who goes all in, being shy, whoever you are, own it. Own it. Celebrate it. That's you. Rock it. Rock it. You are you. So own it. Don't put a lid on your uniqueness, your quirkiness, your oddities, your personality. Take the lid off and let it just be. I guarantee you, if you will adopt that truth, you'll get past the people who don't get you. Number 11, it's decision time. You got to make a decision. You can play small and put a lid on your uniqueness, your quirkiness, your oddness, or you can play big and take the lid off. You have one life. I have one life. You have one life. And do you agree with me? Is this fleeting? Is it a fleeting life? Does it go like that? Yes, it does. So you can either play big or you can play small. That's your decision. And number 12 is if the person who doesn't get you, or people, if you are really wanting to be understood by that person, if it means so much to you, then sometimes you've got to do the obvious, but we forget to do it. Make that person, or at least state your case to that person so that they understand. People aren't mind readers, so tell them what you want. Tell them what you believe in. Tell them what you're passionate about. Tell them what you value. Tell them what's important to you. Make them, you can't make them, but put it on the table to make it evident to them, and then walk away. Sleep well that night after you do it, knowing that you did explain yourself. So there can be no questions about what you're doing, what you believe in, what's important to you, what you value. Make them understand. They're not mind readers, but then walk away. So I hope you got some value out of this, because it's touchy, it's painful. We all want to be loved. We all want to be liked. We all want to be accepted. We all want people to get us, but it's not going to happen. And as soon as you can really adopt that and wear that coat, your life will be easier. So if you got some value, share this video. If you know somebody that really needs to hear this message, tag them or share it with that person. I'm going to put the link to my website in there, where I've got a whole bunch of other goodies that you can read and watch, and maybe check those out. Thank you so much for watching. I sure appreciate it.